Hello, this is Todd Luck, and the new Phantom video game is out for modern consoles. I was originally planning on doing a review of the Nintendo Switch version, but instead I am going to be doing a first impressions video, and I'll say why in a few minutes. But first of all, I want to let you know what my first impressions were. So first of all, wow, there is a lot of love and passion that went into this project. It shows in the amazing graphics, there's fantastic music, everything is voice acted, and everything is hand drawn from the opening cinematic to the comic strips that illustrate the story between levels. Everything is hand drawn. It has this wonderful, unique comic look to it, and that includes the actual gameplay itself, which is quite fun. There's some really solid mechanics here. There's dashing moves and charge moves and all this stuff. But the thing the game really wants you to do is it wants you to charge up your meter so you can do this super move and mark your enemies. And the game keeps track of this, encouraging you to do this as many times as you can per level and mark as many enemies as you can. And I just found it to be a very engaging mechanic that kept me playing. And I really wanted to see how many enemies I could mark, and where the game really came together to me, the graphics, the sound, the gameplay, was towards the end of the museum level that's in the last country you go to.
Phantom's cold fury chills even tiger's blood. Phantom's cold fury chills even tiger's blood.
Really epic stuff. I wish every level had been that good, but I had a lot of fun with this game overall. And so why am I doing a first impressions video instead of a review? Because of the glitches. Unfortunately, the digital release of the game has a lot of bugs and AI problems that are very noticeable, and the developers are aware of this, and they are working over the next couple weeks to develop a major patch for the game that we'll be able to download, and this will be the version of the game that's going to be used for the physical release. And so I'm going to wait until this thing is patched up before I do a review, and if you want to wait a couple weeks before you get this, I think that's perfectly understandable. And so some of the updates they're working on are adding more enemy variety and also working on enemy AI. And that's definitely going to include the boss AI and improving the boss battles, like this boxer here who can one-shot you and kill you with one punch, but he pretty much just stands there and lets you use him as a punching bag. The bad ending, which you're supposed to get if you kill too many enemies with your guns, does not work, and so they're going to need to patch that. Arcade mode unlocks after you defeat story mode, but I haven't been able to unlock Outlast mode yet. I beat story mode 3 times with both characters and have beaten all the countries in arcade mode, and the only variable left is that I haven't beaten anything on hard mode, and I'm also missing Robin Hood's arrow on the treasures you're supposed to be able to find. And considering I've played through all the levels 4 times, it could very well be a glitch preventing me from finding it. By the way, that comic book that's in the Phantom's Treasure Vault in the game is absolutely real. It's coming on the first Saturday in May for free comic book day. You're going to be able to get a Phantom Zero for free from participating comic dealers. And one thing I do want to remind people is that there is a very small team that puts out this game. You're seeing the roster right here, because people keep comparing this to Shredder's Revenge and Streets of Rage 4. But when you beat those games, it takes forever to get through the credits because there is an army of people who helped make those games. And in the amount of time it's taken me to talk about it, you've literally seen pretty much everybody who worked on this game. And so please keep that in mind. This is a small publisher with limited resources, and it's their first release as a studio. So I think it's understandable to have a little bit of a learning curve here. They did patch up the issues I had in the demo. So if the game is not glitching, then the controls are responsive, the hit detection's okay, and it will save what stage you are on if you quit out in story mode. My first couple playthroughs on normal difficulty with the Phantom only had the occasional glitch. When I was replaying it in different modes and with Diana, I did experience more glitches, but it was still an infinitely playable game. And so if you want to give it a try right now, a little bit of advice. Before you start, go under options and look at the controls for the game, and also look at your combat tips. Reading is your friend. You're going to enjoy this game much more if you know what you're doing. In vehicle mode, you should dodge obstacles and save your ammo to shoot at projectiles that are thrown at you by the boss. If you do run low on ammo, be sure to pick up the refill because you're not going to be able to do anything until you get more ammo. And yes, the boat chase with Ula is the most difficult thing in the game. You're going to have to get used to the timing of avoiding the mines in the water, and also which direction you need to point your gun in when she's throwing the mines at you. Overall, I found the game to be relatively easy, but if you're not looking for a challenge or you're easily frustrated, there is an easy mode that you can pick for story and arcade mode. When you encountered a motorcyclist in India, do not jump kick them. Instead, just kick them off their bikes. This looks a lot cooler and it's way more effective. Because the Phantom's greatest weapons have always been his fist and he has a moral code against killing, they made the guns in this game weak. So if you're looking to rack up the evil points by killing your enemies with the guns, you're going to want to weaken them with melee attacks first and then pull out the gun to finish off the opponent when he has very little health left, and then rinse and repeat and just use that strategy over and over again. And so one last bit of advice, because the game is a little glitchy now, if you have an enemy who's glitching out and you can't defeat them and move forward, then you're going to want to summon your animal in order to defeat them. They should be able to take it out in one hit. Otherwise, you'll just have to restart the level. And so hopefully after they get it patched, I'll be able to do a full review of this game. I just didn't feel like it would be fair for me to review this game in the state that it was in. It would be like me being a food critic and criticizing a recipe that wasn't done, right? This game just needs to be put back in the oven and cooked a little bit more, because what's there is really solid, and I'm looking forward to seeing their full creative vision after they get all the glitches fixed. It's just a gorgeous, fun, pick up and play type of game, and there's just not enough of those on modern consoles. All right, guys, like and subscribe for more videos. And until next time, see ya.